Yo, what up? Oh, my bad. It's Aaron Moses. Gang. This man, Karmelo Anthony. Yes, a black man woke up one day and chose to name his only begotten son after a basketball player. Now, I'm not a big fan of basketball. Shout out to basketball. Shout out to the NBA and the NFL. But number one, I'm not naming my son after another man that I never met, cause I think that's just weird. But Aaron Moses, you named your son Jimi Hendrix. You named your second son Aaron. You never met the original Aaron. Nigga, I am the original Aaron. Shut up. But at the end of the day, bro, you named your son after a living, breathing human being? Weird. And your wife agreed to do that? Well, that's it's even weirder. At the end of the day, what we do have to understand is if you don't know about this story, man, Carmelo Anthony, a 17-year-old young man, he's a kid, ended up taking a knife to his track meet and ending the life of a white young man who was only 16 years old. Now, why I think he did this is pretty much irrelevant, right? We're going to talk about that at some point. But the fact of the matter is, this, excuse me, this young man just got not only the bond, but of course, NIGGAs have raised over, probably at this point, a half of $1 million to get this alleged criminal out of jail for doing the unthinkable, doing top 5 worst things that you could do to another human being. What are the worst things you could do? I mean, kidnap somebody or make them do something they don't want to do with their bodies, sexually. Take their life. Now, I've heard people that have been grape sodaed. I heard them say that that's worse than actually dying, which is weird to say because if you don't, have the experience of dying, I don't think you should be able to compare the two things. But let's just go with that, right? He did something that was really, really permanent for forever. This young man is gonna be no more. Now we have niggas making excuses, saying that he was bullied, saying that he was abused over and over and over and over by this young white man. Even if that was the case, bro, the times that I've been victimized, yes, I had thoughts, I had dreams, I had aspirations, I had fascinations with taking the pain away. I'll just word it like that. But did I do it? Not necessarily. Not in that way. Not directly or indirectly. But at the end of the day, bro, why are we so obsessed with what we align ourselves with as far as gangsterdom or violence? Like, bro, we could say, and this is what I don't like about this situation, because people are going to automatically, not normal people, not regular people, niggas, right? Niggas are going to support the behavior that comes out of the nigga culture. Now, this guy is probably more so on the spectrum of a nigga. You know what I mean? Me being a part of the nigga culture and me endorsing the nigga culture in every way that I could have at some point. Doing crimes, doing everything that I could possibly do that I heard in rap songs, negative rap songs. 'Cause there are positive rap songs, a lot, a lot. right? Um, just taking on the stereotypes of the archetype of the bad guy, the criminal, the black man that absolutely deserves to be incarcerated for eternity. You know, for him to not come from a specific type of background immediately, for him to be exhibiting behaviors of somebody who has the potential to be a successful person, somebody who's the leader of their track team, somebody who's the leader of their football team, somebody who maintain good grades because you know you can't play sports unless you have decent grades, right? You turned around and you acted on emotionalism, you acted on weakness, and you acted on your obvious hatred for this young man who had a promising future as well as you. Now, we have countless people that are 9 times out of 10 the majority black. I'm sure there was some whites, I'm sure there was some Hispanics, I'm sure there was some Asians, Indian, whoever contributed to this young man obtaining his liberty in society, giving him the second chance to have life in this world as a free person, right? Whether I think that's wrong or right is that doesn't really matter because that's what happened. I don't think it's wrong or right. I think that it really just is what it is. Now, what really disturbs me is the fact that this man, this young man, he's not a man. There's nothing manly about what he did or nothing manly about his life besides him being a leader and an athlete. Those are the two masculine things about um, his life. And he stood on business or whatever the case may be. So, three things. Um, his parents turned around and bought they moved into a $800,000 house after they got five, a $500,000 in donations, right? They're gonna be able to pay for his legal defense, and these niggas bought a motor vehicle with this money that was raised to get an alleged murderer out of jail. Alleged. Because I wasn't there and I don't know what's going to happen. Right? Obviously, his parents are niggas. Now, what's the difference between a black person and a nigga? Well, you know, we have a very clear definition of what a nigga is, and we have a very clear definition of what a black person is, right? Kevin Samuels, black guy. You know, we have Martin off the Martin show, not the actual Martin Lawrence in real life. He was more on the nigga side, right? Not too niggified, but just to give you a small. Then we have Tasha K. Tasha K looks like a nigga, a man, and a nigga. She's a nigga in real life. I can bet my bottom dollar, allegedly, right? And then we have she's actually a nigga. I was gonna use her for an example. Mariah Carey's a nigga. Dr. Dre's a nigga. Nipsey Hussle was a very great display of the perfect fusion. He was the Gohan and the Trunks of black people. He was a nigga and he was a black man, right? We have, there's lots of black people and there's lots of niggas. Barack Obama, he's a nigga. He's not a black man, right? Because he did all kind of weird shit. We got me. I'm a pretty good version of a nigga and a black man, right? My dad is, you don't know my dad, so that doesn't matter. But this was niggadom, right? Goku is a black man. Vegeta's a nigga, right? For the most part. Actually, it depends on how you see. It depends, cause Goku's pretty violent, but he tries to mask it as something that's playful, and so Goku's kind of a nigga too, and Vegeta's he's a family man. He takes care of his kid. He pays all his bills on time for the most part. I think Vegeta's a pretty good display of what a black man should be. I think Goku just being in the street and he keeps on dying all these times and doesn't really care about his kids. And Goku's a nigga. But anyways, you know the difference. If you don't know the difference, I'm sorry, bro. I mean, that's on you. You got to do your research, man. Do your Googles. But they use this money and bought houses and cars. Do you know that I would actually, if they were really smart, bro, they wouldn't have did anything with that money because there's gonna be more during the trial. This trial is gonna last what, a good 2.5 years. You're gonna get more money, bro. You're gonna get more money. I'm gonna be watching this like the stock market. Yeah, you busted out with a $500,000. Do you know that there's gonna be more donations that come from people that don't think anything like me? Number one, because I've been to jail a lot of times, and niggas didn't put on my books. My grandma did. I think my mom probably sent me $20. My auntie always looked out. She always put like $200 on your boy's books. You know what I'm saying? I know how stressful jail is. I know how valuable a dollar. Do you know how much cigarettes cost in jail, my nigga? Cook County jail. A pack of cigarettes is like, how long? In 2018, pack of cigarettes is probably like $60 in jail, nigga. For $23, you tweaking, fam. You know how much a lighter is in jail, bro? That doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, these niggas fucked around and bought a house. They bought cars. They're gonna spend that money, yes. Yeah, you could put something on the mortgage and get loans. They probably did something with their credit, and I don't know how much these niggas make. They live in Frisco, Texas. I've never heard of Frisco, Texas. So 9 times out of 10, you probably have to have a little bit of money to live there, right? Why am I so outraged that their man got a bond? Because people are outraged about it. I know that I don't care about this situation. I know that niggas, I know that black people that are ignorant, that act like they have no tact, act like they have no manners, act like they have no value for life, people that are bitter about slavery. Do you think I'm not bitter about? Do you know how the fuck I felt when I found out about slavery? And I had white friends? Do you know what I wanted to do to my white friends? I wanted to be friends with them still. Because I knew that they were kids. You know, they didn't have anything to do with it. But I knew that they were alive because of the pain and the hurt and the grape soda and all the massacres. All the worst things that you could do to anybody in life. You did to my people for 400 plus years, and you're still doing that right now. And you did that for thousands of years before that. 1,600 years to be exact, before what was reported. Do you think I didn't have any negative feelings from my white friends? You don't think I wanted anything bad to happen? You don't think that I need to be, or I felt like I needed to be repaired at that point? I felt, yes, I wanted there to be bad things that happened to them, because bad things, and I didn't know anything about this. Slavery? What does that mean? You mean like how you treat a dog? No, we treat dogs better than that, nigger. And you have a name for us? What? And it sounds pretty similar to what we call each other. This is a problem. I felt horrible, bro. When I learned about slavery, black person, leave a comment if you remember when you found out the actual extent of what slavery meant. Do you know how I felt when I found out that these people that asked me to borrow my purple crayon Their great 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 grandparents did what to my great 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 grandma? Fuck these people. I was flabbergasted. I was taken aback, to say the least. But at the end of the day, it's nothing I can do about it. It's something they can do about it. But I digress. I don't think. I think that niggas should not be donating to this cause because if it was your child, I don't think that you would want that person to be free, and 9 times out of 10 he's gonna violate his bond. It's gonna make it easier for him to harm himself, harm other people. But we do have to understand that this guy that did this, he's not a grown ass man. 9 times out of 10, well, there's a very high chance that he's a virgin. He comes from a small town, right? He might have some bitches because he is a star athlete, and his pussy rate is gonna skyrocket. He's gonna get some pussy off of this, off of taking the soul out of this little white boy's body. Because what he did technically can be considered a federal crime because he is an adult legally, right? And he harmed a child. People don't even take that into an account because the dude was 16, right? He was 17. There's a lot of ways that you could spin this, but do I think he deserves freedom? I think if the law allowed it, because I am a red-blooded American, I'm a great American, so I support the Constitution. I support all kind of things. What is the likelihood of him going to prison? I mean, it's 110% chance he's gonna go to prison, right? We all know that, right? Is he gonna serve 35 years? No, he's probably gonna get 20, maybe 15, and he's probably gonna do. If he gets 15, he's gonna do 13, and if he gets 20 years or 25 years, he's gonna do like 20 years. He's not gonna get out of prison. He's not gonna be younger than me when he gets out of prison. You know what I'm saying? But I do want you guys to take this as a learning lesson. We do have to stop endorsing nigga shit, right? We do have to stop making everything cool that's not cool. Because these are the results. This guy has never seen anybody go. He's never been through anything. He's only 17. He doesn't know. He's going to find out. He's going to grow up in prison. Shout out to the person that, because I wasn't going to talk about this, because I don't really care about this, to be honest with you. But the day that he woke up and decided to bring a knife to school, he chose the decisions of being a man. Because now it's not his choice. Being a man is not a choice. If you really respect and love man, that's not a choice. He made a permanent decision because he had temporary feelings and he reacted and didn't respond. He did something dumb. And to be totally honest with you, I think he planned on doing it. I think he was just trying to choose the right one. I don't know if his girlfriend cheated on him with bro. I don't know if he was having a bad day, a good day. Nigga, if you wake up and you choose to break the law by bringing a knife to school, you're obviously having a bad day. Somebody pissed in his Frosted Flakes. All the times I brought a knife to school, it was for protection. It wasn't for that. It wasn't for that. It wasn't. I didn't do it. And that didn't happen. Like, okay, peep this. I would have to say this. I did something very similar to what bro ended up doing. But I knew not to aim for the heart because I knew what I felt was temporary and I didn't want to do anything that was the opposite of temporary. I was mad. I was in my feelings. I know I listened to hip hop that day at some point, probably, whether it be positive or negative. But I lived, and I can go to prison, bro. I was young. I wouldn't have went to prison anyway. I was like 13. But I live to remind that person why they should control themselves, because there are people who cannot control themselves, like myself at the time. And I was able to look at that scar that I gave you last year because you were popping your shit. So you need to chill. And I enjoyed that. And that person may or may not have that scar to this day. But they learned a very valuable lesson. Everybody's not playing with you, bro. Everybody doesn't have unconditional love, and everybody can't handle the emotions that we all feel on a daily basis. You might get fucked up. And am I saying that I don't even know Austin Metcalf? Bro, I'm pretty sure that he didn't do anything to this nigga. I'm pretty sure he didn't. Directly. I'm pretty sure he didn't call him uh, the hard R. I'm pretty sure he didn't intimidate him, because that's not what you do when you feel intimidated. Because that was a coward move. So he was not Carmela, Cardinal Sin Anthony. He wasn't intimidated. He did what he wanted to do because he wanted to do that all day. I know my people. He wanted to do that shit, and it probably felt great. And he probably wants to do it again and again and again and again. And if he does, I mean, whatever. And if he doesn't, well, thank the Lord. But I'm pretty sure Austin didn't do anything to bro. I'm 100. Actually, no, I'm not. I don't know, but he probably didn't do shit to. He probably didn't say anything to provoke him. Niggas just be tripping, bro. His ass drank too many Red Bulls that day. He was just tweaking, bro. Probably, like I said, had a fight with his girlfriend. He probably had a white girlfriend and knew that he was gonna take his anger out of somebody that had the same skin complexion. Niggas, I don't know, but I don't remember what it feels like being a nigga, bro. I don't remember much because I took an edible like 30 minutes ago and it's starting to kick in. My balls are starting to tingle, so that's how I know it's kicking in. At the end of the day, man, RIP to the family. If anything, bro, you niggas shouldn't have bought a house, some cars. Send that man, run Austin Metcalf's. I don't mean to be disrespectful. I don't know how to say bro's last name, but send his family some money, bro. Are you stupid, bro? You're out here flexing like Young Jeezy. You out here buying blue Lambos and throwing for. These niggas probably had a barbecue, all kind of shit, playing loud ass Tupac in your new house. Bro, run that family their back, bro. At least give them 100 of them things. You got $500,000. At least pay for the funeral. Your child slaughtered their child in cold blood for no, not for no reason, because you didn't raise his dumb ass right. But he's a child. Yeah, he's a child, but he's still dumb, bro. He's still dumb. I did all kind of horrible things, worse than that, at 17. But shit, I didn't get caught. Yeah. But at the end of the day, man, run them at least 100 of them things. You bought you a little Mazda 3, buy them a Mazda. Come on now. You moved in an almost $1 million house. Got your credit right. Nigga, did you even buy groceries? You bought you a house. Got this man on I wouldn't even want this nigga around me, bro. Cause 9 times out of 10, shit, he's gonna, man, if I'm 17 years old, and I got accused of this, I'm out of there, bro. So now you're gonna have to pay for his funeral. You might as well pay for the little white boy's funeral, bro. Like they literally deserve it. They probably raised a good 25,000 for bro's funeral. That's not enough. So guess what? Make it enough. This is ugly, nasty, disgusting work, bro. This is nasty work. You got little Jason Voorhees out here doing this nigga about to come out with a mixtape. I'm sure he's gonna spend a couple of them $1,000 on some bit. Cause if Lord forbid, I'm not even gonna speak that into existence. But let's say if I had a friend of a friend of a friend and their child did the same thing, bro, stay your stupid ass in the house. I'm gonna go on the new whatever back page. We gonna go on Instagram. We gonna do some Instagram thotties. You're 17. You probably haven't even had sex with 17 bitches. You're gonna have. You're gonna be fucking every day, 3 times a day. All you do is eat cereal, do push-ups, fuck these bitches until you go to jail for life. Damn. If you would have did this to a black boy, I mean, he probably would have. His bond would have been 100,000. He probably wouldn't even had a bond. Cause I know they don't value us like that. You killed America's sweetheart. Are you dumb? You're going to prison, boy. This nigga's stupid. You might as well. I'm not gonna say all of that, but what I will say is I don't want to talk about this anymore because it's Aaron Moses. I'm the bang, you the bang. Oh, we the bang together. Mind lights in the breathing in. Peace.